Welcome everybody to another episode of the Established 1982 Podcast, the Geek Culture Podcast, hosted by responsibly irresponsible adults that love video games, comic books, movies, and TV ever since 1982. I am Wally Analog, and I'm joined, of course, by the gatekeeper of civility and order. It is Rose.
What's up?
And it would not be complete without our wish come true. It is Wish Wendell.
What's up, everybody?
As lovely as usual. Look at the lashes as they bat.
She's using the force.
Yes, she is using the force.
Yes.
Come hither, force.
Oh, look at that. Look. The pheromones are out for all of you.
So we have some things to talk about tonight. Well,
yeah, we do.
Housekeeping.
We do. Wakanda Forever, ladies and gentlemen. The long-awaited Ryan Coogler directed and written saga continues. And but before that, we just want to acknowledge the death in the geek culture community on dear to everybody's hearts. If you're a fan of Batman, especially Kevin Conroy passed cancer recently. We just want to say RIP to who we consider to be the GOAT and the Batman in the geek community.
Yeah, he'll be missed. Cartoons are not going to be the same, you know.
Oh no, yeah. They're not.
And I think he was also not only cartoons, but also video games. Like he was like,
Protect Mark Hamill at all costs, please.
Yes, because he also crosses over to many things that we love. So, but all that being said, rest in peace to a great one.
Yeah.
Okay, which is sad, but a great segue into rest in peace.
Indeed.
Yes.
Wakanda Forever was a bit of a memorial to Chadwick Boseman, who we consider to be the Black Panther. Didn't want anybody else to play him. After that, it was hard. It was hard, and
it was.
There was a lot of campaigning, recast. Every now and then, I got on the recast bandwagon. But after having seen the movie, Ryan Coogler knows exactly what he's doing. So
yeah. I don't think we got to give props to do. They handled it extremely well. But before we jump in, do we want to do our usual? I can actually point to you, Ryan. Give us a little synopsis, and I think it might be noted that we have not spoken about the movie in any depth to each other
at all.
This will be a real spoiler alert review on Black Panther.
Right.
Ryan.
So synopsis. So pretty much the movie just starts out, and T'Challa. We discover he had a mysterious disease, and they're fighting to try to find a cure, and pretty much passes away, and then it's like the balance of Wakanda. Queen Ramonda has to take the reins, and everything that T'Challa built in terms of opening up Wakanda to the world. That's getting challenged, and then the world is getting greedy. They looking at Wakanda, like the lick. So they're like, yeah, I need that precious vibranium.
They do.
Right. So everybody's trying to get the vibranium from Wakanda, America included. Yeah. But while that is going on, there's a mysterious new person that has come into Wakanda unannounced and under the radar, and that's when mayhem ensues. So so pretty much the movie is just a memorial to Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa. So
I guess the way it sounds, but it's a movie that talks about legacy, deals with grief, deals with responsibility growing up, and just how to handle it all at the same time.
Right.
And so I guess since I'm running my mouth, here. Overall, I think Ryan, magnificent as ever, did an amazing job. I'm sorry. I did see some things online where people are not happy with it. They had little tweaks, and I'm for what? Yeah,
You know what? I'm not surprised because now that I think about it, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been that long pace, and I was like, no. When I tell you that, given the circumstances of passing of people getting sick, COVID, but even all that aside, this was well put together, and Ryan Coogler has a great way of capturing, even in the Marvel universe, real life, real emotion, and real things that exist in society today. And I thought it was spot on. I love that it wasn't clean. I love that it wasn't black and white, good and bad. It was very emotional. And so, I feel like we're talking around it because I'm trying my best not to give total spoilers. The way it opened up with the rush and Suri trying to, recreate her heart and, just kind of like get into the business of what happened to Tyler without us having to play games and bring in old footage in a weird way, right? Like just going right to it, but also setting up for her as a character arc, this guilt of not being able to save her brother, which adds to grief. I thought that was great because, she was never meant to be the star of this movie. So you had to create a situation of why all of a sudden are we shifting our focus onto her,
right?
And Angela Bassett. And then to go through that and have that wonderful procession to see beautiful Black people on the screen just being culture, that alone was amazing. With the drums and the dancing and the costumes, and though we've seen that bit 1,000 times, to see it all put together, right, it was just magical. And so for me, the stepping up of Angela Bassett, because I'm gonna leave some room for you guys, but the stepping up of Angela Bassett, all of the acting to me was superb. But Angela Bassett went in there and said, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna pull from the Betty Shabazz that I played, the Tina Turner that I played. I mean, she's the mother of mothers. Like she even played, I think, Coretta Scott at one point. She just pulled all of the ancestors out, and I think she was very powerful. And I like the way that she handled the world powers in this movie. Like, yes, we did open up Wakanda, but don't think we're stupid. Don't think we're sleeping. Don't think we're without protection, right? And that whole scene with the man, let me tell you something. The graphics, the movement, the pacing, the acting, the emotion. I think a lot of those actors were not even acting. I think they really were mourning and playing and pulling through. And it was amazing. And one of my favorite parts, and I think I actually screamed in a movie theater, is when we get introduced to Namor. I thought that was well done. And when they showed him going to go back to bury his mother. So for those who are listening, it was a whole scene where we go into a bit of Mayan and Aztec and history. I was like, yo, well done. Showing enslaved Native Americans, and he just lost it. So again, I think Ryan Coogler just is able to get that history lesson in there real nice and just so real. Applaud Disney for allowing that to happen, because I think most movie houses would have tried to sugarcoat that part.
Right.
But the reason he even got his name Namor is because he's no love. But it was not he had no love. He came back and just saw slavery. So this black brown play that's starting to happen, to see the brown lives and Black lives are a lot alike, and the Wakanda livelihood of it. And I know I'm jumping because it's just so much in this movie that was amazing. But the storytelling with that was great. I loved the storyline when we went to Massachusetts. Like it was just well done. And I even give props to how we start introducing other Marvel pieces into the movie with Val and what's coming there with them. But it was done in a way where it helped consistency without taking away from the movie and becoming too Marvel-ish and not losing the tone of what happened. I love Killmonger came back. I thought that was brilliant how they did that. Man, everything. The fight at the end, the score. This is an 11 for me.
I can tell because you just said the whole movie right there.
Look at that!
Look at that!
11. Now we got
I'm gonna be quiet.
You know what?
I want to engage in conversation because there's so many. For me, it's all the cultural nuances. I was talking to Ryan earlier before he came on, like even the symbolism on the costumes or in decors. Like if you know what those are, if you understand West African symbolism, that all played a part. Like I think it was well done, well detailed. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't know what the expectation was. And quite frankly, this is exactly what we talked about, guys. Like in my mind, this does not save Phase 4. This was a standalone amazing movie.
Yes.
And it, in my mind, I'm still separating Phase 4 out of it. Like in my mind, this was necessary movie. It may or may not help connect the tissue, but I don't care because which is a great movie. So which kid is on an 11?
Yeah, I'm glad you made that point. Just to jump off of that point, because of course, after the movie was over, we're all trained to wait for the end credit scenes, right?
End credit scene, but yes,
right. And they didn't have one, and of course, you get that little sense of disappointment, like, oh well, I was waiting for Kang to come in, or Doctor Doom,
right.
But it's one of those deals where you don't, like, Marvel did a good job of not wedging that in there, and I think it would have been tacky because this movie was meant to just be, yes, there's some Phase 4-ish stuff in there, but it was meant to just be a memorial to Chadwick Boseman. The end credit scene that was there was dope. It fed right into.
They handled it 100% correctly, and it was believable too.
Right, and they were also telling folks out there, like, calm down, relax, y'all. Like, T'Challa will be back. Black Panther will return
with the same name and everything. We cover all bases while still being respectful.
Right. And the casting, I mean, that kid was like channeling Chadwick, like down to the smile and like the joke, like he's throwing jokes in there. There was a couple of times where, like, I had my handkerchief, like I had it ready because they got me with the when they did the Marvel Studios thing, and when they do the
silence,
sir,
and it was silence. It was no music.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, and people clapped at the end. I was like, this is
And usually I'm not a fan of clapping in the theater, but I'll allow it. It was appropriate. It was appropriate, man.
Did you have popcorn too?
I don't do popcorn.
I know, but I wondered if you were so moved to eat popcorn. That'd have been.
Oh, never. No.
He had a drink.
I did have that.
He had a drink.
Yeah.
So I passed around. What do you guys think? Again, I'm trying to think about. I was saving some surprises and bits for y'all to talk about because there's a lot more that happened that I did not mention.
Right.
I think for me personally, and I think I might have been a minority, and because I knew that Coogler was going to handle Wakanda beautifully. I knew he was. And like I said, I was in a minority, I think, but I was probably most excited about seeing the Submariner and Riri Williams. I was literally there for that probably more than anything else. Because I knew the other thing was going to be fine. I knew everything else was going to be fine. How are you going to handle the first mutant and
he said
the next he let you know.
Did you cheer? Did you cheer, Wish? Did you scream in the theater when he said mutant? Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't. Right. I was too caught up in the history. They had me the academic Wish there. I was just like, what's this on the wall? And Mayans.
It was dope. And then the return of and a Stark-ish hero, man, Riri Williams. And what I love about it is this is what I wanted Riri to be. Because when she was represented in the comics and in certain comics, right, she was everything that she was in those comics. Now there was a run that we had you and I read, Rose, that wasn't the greatest, so we was kind of hoping that Ryan would take care of that. Like we would think she was intense. She was funny. She was smart. I like young black
Yeah.
female smart people. You know what I'm saying? I just and then to see her interact with Shuri, two brilliant minds, two young female brilliant minds,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and the, little girls can see that
It was cool too.
and want to be engineers and
Yeah,
stuff like
she's
that,
so
man. This
cool. She's
she was
so
and she was like a regular around the way chick, because you got royalty on one hand, and then you got the little chick from Chicago, so it is he did a wonderful job with her, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. I believe she's supposed to have a show.
TV series. Yeah, she's a
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and he's
yeah.
executive producing that one. So
oh,
he
he
said,
Oh
is.
he's
my,
yes,
yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I
Let's
think he might be
go.
directing like the first episode or a few episodes. So
Let's
I think,
go.
yeah.
And hopefully she'll make an appearance in Armor Wars. Or who
Oh, of
knows?
course.
She got to.
Yeah.
With that, with all that technological brilliance and just stuff that she had.
They
So
made a
yeah, I was
point.
just
Oh no, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I was just, it's the things that were, I guess, ancillary to many who were anticipating the movie was some of the most important things to me. And then of course Kugler got that down 100%. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she was dope.
Yeah. The thing for me was I just like how Kugler, Wish said it all, but I think what Cougar really does well is he also injects black culture
Yeah.
into MCU nicely, and it's real. It doesn't feel, it's not
forced.
fake.
It's
It's
not
authentic.
forced.
Right.
Yep.
It's
Right.
not Black History Month.
Right. They're not beating you over the head like they were doing in Black
Not.
Lightning.
No, it's like no, I want to, like, the audience, I want everybody to know about black culture. I want the people that, the people that are black to feel it. I want people that are white, any color, to feel what our culture goes through. Yeah.
Edutainment. Like, he does a good way of educating. So again, to your point, it's not so pro-black where it's like, but it's also not apologetic. It's unapologetic rather, right? So
yeah. And the thing was, it's so subtle too. Like there's so many themes that I like soaked in, like the grief part, like like we have,
they weren't acting, you know.
right.
Like,
Well, no, I think what I'm talking about is how our culture celebrate, as people.
yeah.
Right.
Homegoing as opposed to someone leaving
funeral.
us. And yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you saw the spectrum, you saw the sadness, of course, of everybody that was touched by T'Challa, but then you saw the people around them that were like, they were dancing and they were like, yes, we definitely hate to see our king leave, but we're going to honor him by being happy. Like there were guys dancing and like, and it was very,
they never really leave us. We believe in something else, principally about spirit and ancestor. I mean, it's too off, but you're right. But even the traditions,
yes,
of to a year later taking the journey. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. And then like the thing that struck me, and I don't know if anybody picked this up, like toward the end, he was also talking about, he was mentioning estate planning, like getting your house in order before you pass.
Yeah.
And our culture is not good at that at
No,
all. We don't want to talk about death. We don't want to talk about estate planning. We don't want to get papers together.
Well, as far as preparing his son.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He got his house.
He knew what was coming up and what to prepare for. You're right.
Right. And then even getting M'Baku and said, hey, I need you to counsel Shuri. She's going, like, I know that this is going to be a thing. And what was I think the emotional tone that hit me was, I can only imagine what Chadwick Boseman was doing as he was filming all of these movies with the illness. Like there were a lot of times where like they showed where he prepared, like he knew that, his time was short. So I felt like that was echoed in the film in a just like a subtle and a beautiful way.
Man,
And
that's brilliant, man, because everything that went right over my head, man, until you said something. Like
right,
I didn't catch that until you just said that, man.
right.
Man, that's heavy, man.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
I mean,
11 out of 10.
right.
yeah,
Welcome.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
and last thing, like, for me, I mean, just to share something a little personal, like, my father's going through Alzheimer's. They consider Alzheimer's, they call it the long goodbye, right? So it hit me emotionally because, like Shuri had to do that. Ramonda had to do that. Nakia had to do that. Everybody in Wakanda had to do that. And they were just showing how to properly grieve. Like it was therapy in there too, right? Like
Yeah.
Ramonda was telling, she was telling Shuri, like, you
You
gotta,
need to
you
get
gotta
out. You
let
need to
this
do
go. You gotta
something.
get this out.
Yeah. But
And even in the
also,
ceremonial like burning of the garb and like
yeah.
that's
And even
ceremonial, and it helps with your therapy,
I was gonna say, even and I love the theme of in that space. I'm so really excited because Nakia and the role that she played as a new mother. So again, spoiler alert, Ramona does pass. And to your point, there was intentionality behind sharing tradition, because notice that Nakia is the one now giving the herb to Shuri, and she's keeping tradition, and she's trying to ground her, and
Yes.
she's trying to now mother, big sister her, and to your point, it was very subtle but intentional, right? Because that's who Ramona went to, because she knew Nakia was doing what she was doing in Haiti, and in a sense living out the legacy of what she was asked to do, right? But she also then she just came back and she filled in a role real easy. So there's something around. I'm not to say other people do not, other cultures do not celebrate community, but there's a nuance around the way we do community. It's a nuance the way that we do family and extended family, and the way, and I think that was a magical moment even Suri had when she showed the compassion to Namora, right? It was we have similar values when it comes to community and tradition. And there's more, this, we need to figure out how to, there was a message in that, right? Brown and black folks. We need to figure out how to have this conversation, because the reality is there are some, we have similar traditions. There's something we have here that we need to preserve that means a lot more than what's superficially happening, right? And I know most people are not going to like it, but I think what Ryan did in his movie, just like the last movie, is where you look at Killmonger and you're like, that's not a villain. I don't see Namor as a villain.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, though, he had some crazy extreme moments similar to Killmonger, but
you
I'm even not mad at, right, but I'm not even mad at his strategy, which is pretty much like, we know at one point we're going to have to come together, because we know at one point the power and the culture of this Black community having this much power is a problem. No one wants Wakanda to have this level of power, and they're going to come for them. And if they have to unite each other to break that down, they're going to need backup. So one way or another, we're going to wind up Voltroning this and having to come together. And we can, because we're the two communities with vibranium, right? And so for me, I felt like Killmonger, like, I'm not mad at you. Like, some of your theories are solid. I am here for some of your theories, as radical as they may sound and be. It almost speaks to the reality of where we are. So I'm gonna leave it here, because I would love to hear what you guys think about the political theme in that, because I think Stevie Wonder could see that we were talking about, again, fascism and world power and domination in a subtle way. Wakanda's like, be clear. We always said we're going to open our borders, but we never said we're going to give up our power, right? And don't test us. Don't contest me. And they came and did that anyway. And even in that, they showed mercy and like, stop sitting here accusing me of not holding my word of giving vibranium when you're trying to actually bring war onto my country. And as soon as something goes wrong, it must be the Wakandans. Like, all that's a setup. So that we put them in a vulnerable place. I just wonder, like, how y'all feel about that political theme that also play through.
Before we dive into the political theme, one thing that you touched on was giving that mercy and that grace. I thought it was beautiful how even though Namor took Shuri, he still showed
an immersion.
He was basically like, look, like I'm gonna
Yes.
show you, I'm gonna treat you like royalty. There's rules to this.
It was
like,
a respect.
I'm gonna
right.
I'm gonna be respectful. I appreciate your culture. And he was, even though she was held, it didn't feel like, oh well, she's gonna die at any minute. Like he wasn't.
They were feeding him food and here's some garbs and come see the city.
Right. But I'm gonna kill you when we done.
I mean, you know what?
No, it was more like
if you're gonna
push,
really want to kill you. I'd rather us talk and figure this out than me to have to kill you. But I'm not.
He would have though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? like, yeah, he'll put you in the, you know.
No, he would have.
Yes.
I'm not saying he wouldn't have killed him, but I think what's interesting is I'm not for killing.
Compliance.
Right. I'm not for killing, but I have to admit that I feel like he was a just murderer. Not
more like he's a lot like Punisher, right? Like he only, deals with the worst of the worst, right? Like he's not just going out killing people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He did say the
Punisher had a code.
Well, no, he did tell Queen Ramonda, he's like, I will kill you. And he did.
But that was through a misunderstanding. It was
exactly because he was violated.
The gate.
Yeah,
but he didn't. Right.
It wasn't until he was struck.
His powers and numbers.
Yes,
I don't want to do this. My whole objective is we are stronger together. But be clear, if you don't want to join me, I will roll over you. Kind of not mad at that message.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of the political stuff, like, it's interesting, like vibranium could represent, culture, music, resources.
He said it in the movie. He said they're going to come take our resources.
Oil.
Well, I'm talking about the real world, like parallel.
Oil, people.
Yeah.
Inventions.
All that.
They took Riri's invention. She didn't even know that.
Oh, they called it a class assignment. I thought that was brilliant. It's not like they paid him, but they didn't pay her for it.
Right. No.
Set her up to think she was doing it. And then emotionally baited her into doing it because we don't think you can do it.
Right. Because that's how they wrote.
But it's still stealing, right? It's still not giving the person the props because I created the filament.
Yeah, it's not her. It's
not her without my invention.
It's not her intellectual property.
Correct. Like it's not a light bulb without me bringing what I brought. Right. Like this we gonna just get this all to Ben Franklin. Right. And I'm not to take it off, but this reminds me of when I tell people the story of Uncle Nearest. It's a similar situation. Uncle Nearest, and everybody look it up. Jack Daniels, no disrespect to Jack Daniels, that's lovely. But at the end of the day, Uncle Nearest was a slave who created a filtration system for whiskey, which is now the way you have to distill whiskey, period. Like otherwise it's not considered whiskey. But not only that, the filtration system he invented actually came from Africa. Didn't know this. Africans were already using coal and other ways to filter water so it can actually be able to drink. So hello, Britta. Like that was done back in Africa, right? So he created that system, then created a recipe for whiskey. And because he was a slave, somebody came in who had the right to sell, and now it's $1 billion business. And the story was sitting sitting somewhere until a sister decided that she was going to take out the time to do the sociology work, her and her husband, and to tell the story and create the business as we know now as Uncle Nearest, which recipe has been following for years. If that did not happen, they never mentioned this in Jack Daniels. So this to me goes back to what you said. What happens to the stories of people that look like us who have done something so revolutionary to set pace in this world, this country, and we never get to hear about it? Because it's always Columbus or taken. Like
our whole infrastructure pretty much is linked to our culture.
It's like
traffic lights, like peanut butter, like.
Oh, I mean, we can talk about roads. All of DC was designed by a man of color intentionally to keep people confused so they could not be able to, to take over the city. But if you ever go do a walkabout on a plantation, they will tell you that the enslaved Africans not only were enslaved and doing work on plantations, but they also built the furniture, the homes, the house, the pieces. Yeah. You're like,
they built the White House.
Yes.
I mean, right. So it's almost like, so in a sense, like Namor, like this is my country. My ancestors built this, but we will never, we're and I'm being really careful. I also don't say I'm learning lately, stop calling us slaves. We were enslaved Africans, right? Like there's a difference. And so we just, get our culture back. I'm sorry, I'm about to go real black. I'm about to go real Black Panther on this phone call, on this episode rather. And I don't mean to, but I think again that's the brilliance of what Cougar does. Like he just, I'm proud to be, and I was proud to watch that movie. And I was proud to see us on the screen, and not in just one monolith, but
and it takes skill to do a love letter to your own people, and then also have something that serves as a Marvel.
Say that again.
Cinematic, culture. In addition to the cinematic universe,
Yeah, Rose, that was dope because that's exactly what it was. A love letter to the culture, to the actors, to Chadwick, and also he's a comic book fan, so he didn't steer away from the material. Like
everything was comic accurate, even the midnight. I forgot what they call the suits. The midnight
the angels.
Yes, yeah, those are in the comics. Like accurate. Yeah. Yes.
They need to go ahead and let him just go ahead and do other Marvel movies. I don't know if that would be a good, bad, or indifferent, but he just has a magical way of storytelling that I feel like if you're not a Marvel fan, you still would have sat and enjoyed that movie.
Give him Blade. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Because apparently
there's no director for Blade right now.
Apparently it's not going well.
Yeah.
No. So
yeah. Look at your face, Wally. You do not look happy with that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The hand basket. It is a running joke. I know we're shifting gears, but it's not really a joke, but it's reality. Like by the time this happens, Mr. Ali,
Mahershala, he's
like
80 years old.
Be funny, but he's like only 60-something years old. Like we might as well just bring Wesley Snipes into
bring him back.
I mean, it's funny, but it's almost kind of like we're burning daylight here.
Yeah.
All puns intended. Like.
Right.
What are we doing? But you like that?
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. But I'm sorry, but Wally, did you have any thoughts on the political scene, or social themes in the movie?
Without reiterating everything that you all put so well, and things that went over my head until hearing them now. Coogler, he's man. You don't want to throw the G word around, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like you said, in order to you want to make an MCU movie, but yet you still want to underscore the importance of Black and brown culture without beating people over the head with obvious tropes. I mean, that guy, he's a master storyteller. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he does.
Right.
Fruitvale Station, Creed, it don't matter what he does.
Right.
Doesn't matter what he does. The dude's got range. He can do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like most people write one type of movie, right?
Right.
Man, this dude, he can do whatever he want to do. He can do whatever he want to do.
And so humble too.
Like,
and this wasn't the original script. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
He had a whole other script.
It's a script in the trash right now.
And start over, and it was brilliantly done.
Yeah, he's like, oh well, let me throw this. Yeah, let me throw this 120 pager in the trash, and make this 180 pager.
That's talent.
I mean, the dude is like he's batting 1,000, man.
Yeah, and
then batting 1,000.
Yeah, and I mean, he even consulted with Chadwick Boseman's family. I really appreciated that when I read about that. Like, he would share like the script. He would share what they're filming with his family just to make sure that.
I'm glad you brought that out because I remember in the beginning of this, and Wally, we talked about this. Oh, you're commercializing his death. You're using him to sell tickets. I think that was completely untrue.
Right.
I think they again checked off all the boxes. We were able to respect and give respect to someone who.
You all right, Wally?
Wally, you all right?
Right. I guess we'll keep going.
We gave respect to someone who we all knew and grew to love to be the Black Panther.
Right.
We told a good cultural story.
Mm-hmm.
He empowered women. By the way, let me just talk about how.
Oh gosh, yes.
They were always there, right? Because we always knew that they were the army. But the way that this had a feminist theme through it, without that also being pushed down your throat, like it was natural power. And he also introduced the next Black Panther. Like, I don't see where anyone can feel like, oh, you're using him to sell tickets. No, you properly said goodbye and respected this man and what he started.
Yes, and let's speak on that for a minute. I know you're probably gonna get in your bag about that, but like when he did the first Black Panther, like, and when I say y'all, I'm talking about the guys that there were a lot of people that were saying that for some reason they were like diminishing the Black man with this movie, and I didn't understand that. Like Wakanda was their military force is women led. Like the movie was, I don't get it. Like,
but no, I'm with you, because if you think about the council, right? What they're showing that I think that we don't understand about us as a culture. If we go back to our culture and to our history, African communities and cultures understood balance and roles of people in the community. Elders, young folks, women, men, everyone had a role. So the council even was not a bunch of men. The Queen Ramona was not casted to the side because her son was king. She still had a voice. Suri had a role. She's the head technician. Like, there's a thing where like there is balance in what they were doing. And M'Baka still had a role. Now, he was not diminished as a man because he saw so many women in power. Matter of fact, he became a wise council person. So I think we're trying to deflect our thoughts on men women roles and all that into a movie, when the reality of the movie is actually showing us that it all exists. Like it's for Wakanda to be Wakanda, everybody has to do this and move as a unit.
Yes.
We can't get into the things that are happening in the world today, in my humble opinion, what's keeping us from having a unified conversation. Because the reality is, you said it earlier, the power was seamless.
Yeah.
Man or woman. So even with Shuri being gone, M'Baka knew what he was supposed to do, because there is a respect of what that looks like, a respect for leadership, a respect for roles across the board, man or female. Right?
Yeah, it's just surprising that there were men in our culture that were saying this.
Because men in our culture got problems, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I'm going to generalize. There is I love my Black men. Yeah, I love my Black men, and I understand it's not easy in this country, but I think there needs to be a whole conversation on some healing. Like, who hurt you? That it's everyone's fault but yours. Like, you can't ask for respect and be crime victim at the same time. Like, we need to figure out how we're going to support and balance out one another. But again, that's a whole nother
and see, that's where the the head scratching comes in, because we're marginalized. We're born into our culture is marginalized, but like Black men, it's like a target on our back. So like then we get in our bag about a lot of stuff, not generalizing again, but it's tough, because it's like, like when those kind of conversations was coming out, I just did not understand at all. Like what was the threat there?
Right. Like, or do you feel it's just so much, because I don't want to go through who's hurt more, but it just, we fall for the okie doke every time for the divide. And that bothers me. And I'm going to say this, and please forgive me, I mean no harm, but then something will happen and it'll be those same people crying, where's everybody? But you go turn to the other culture. I'm just saying.
Right.
But again, conversation for another time. I'm trying to be careful, because I don't want to make anybody angry. And you do what you do. You love who you love. But it's just I too am shocked, and I'm also hurt, because I feel like listen.
Yeah, well, I mean, from an entertainment standpoint, just keeping it in an entertainment realm,
Fair enough.
Like if we're screaming about diversity and representation in entertainment, and then there's a woman-led action movie or sci-fi movie or whatever, and then we get in our feelings about it, I don't understand.
I've been saying this the whole entire time. I hope that you guys been paying attention this year. I think this year has been very intentional, from She-Hulk to this, Star Wars, the Mermaid situation, Game of Thrones. We are not as advanced as we think we are when it comes to women. We have some microaggressions when it comes to feminism, and we have microaggression when it comes to Black women. It all sounds good until women of color. It all sounds good until it happens. And all these shows and movies basically knew people were going to do what they did, and they put stuff in these shows and movies to almost counteract and respond to what we know is organically going to happen. And a lot of folks are like, what do you mean? Like, just what you said, you're crying for diversity. You're reading the books. Half of these things are about universes that are diverse to begin with, aliens and things that are not even real. The minute they see somebody of color in it and she has breasts, it's like, oh, it's not accurate.
Yeah, she can't captain a ship.
What? Like she's a whore because it's like, yo, like we Game of Thrones. You know, it's interesting to sit here, and it's interesting to watch light bulbs come on and off in this era of where you're starting to see a lot of female leads and a lot of women who've always quietly been leading, but they're just now getting spotlight. And to your point, the problems that society is having with it. I just think it's very interesting. Yeah. And you're right. Black men have a target on their back. And I've always been taught that Black women, you're the bottom of the totem pole. And lately, right, that's how it is. Yeah.
So with that said, can we talk about Queen Ramonda? Like, that's
right. So with that being said,
Angela Bassett, I mean,
all of that, Angela carried that on her back.
Yes.
And I will admit, I cried when she passed. I was like, really? Because I felt like she was just getting into her stride. Yeah. And I just knew that she was going to continue to be a wise counsel person as Suri matured into queen, but I didn't see that coming. They being real tight. I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's interesting. And this is not a criticism at all. I want to put that out there. When she stripped Okoye of her title, I wanted to see a little bit more of that. Like, I wanted to see her arc after that. And I felt like it kind of got lost because she just took the armor and then started doing some cool stuff. But it's not a criticism, but it was powerful when she was like, no, you said.
No, she Claire Huxtable her.
Yeah,
she's like, because he's like, she got my husband. Right. And she was like, let's be clear, I have no family, and let's be clear. When y'all let that man walk into this throne room, and y'all were letting Killmonger go run him up, even still, and then you still got your position. Like, she went back and got receipts. And came back and was like, receipt. So don't tell me I didn't lose anything. Then you lose my daughter. That was tough, because part of me felt like, is she being too tough? And there was another part of me like, well, she ran a lot of receipts though. But is she being too tough? But she ain't lying.
She was leader. She made the tough decisions.
To me.
It felt what you said, Wally?
It felt appropriate to me.
I mean, a leader has to make those tough decisions.
One of these were like, I wasn't, to your point, I wasn't fighting it, but I was like, oh, I feel how this is like tricky. It was because she will die. Like, Okoye will die for Wakanda. Like, I'm gonna die my last breath. Her loyalty is clear.
Yes,
clear even when she was no longer even general.
Right.
But I'm with you. There was a couple of things where I wish we could have got a little bit more. Again, not a criticism. This is like,
yes,
I could sit and watch this movie for 4 hours. One of them kind of things, right? So like, throw it all in there. But I wish we did see a little bit more of the development of some of the relationships that kind of start to peak.
Right.
Like a little bit. Like, I loved Suri and Riri, And they did share a lot of time together, but I almost wanted them like, and I know they were creating something together, but I wanted more dialogue. I wanted more just hanging out because I think Suri and Riri felt like outsiders because they're so young and so smart. And to find someone who's basically like your soulmate in that way, I thought that was pretty cool. So hopefully Shuri will make an appearance in Ironheart in the show just to kind of reinforce that
Well, she took her armor, so
smart, I mean, yeah, smart black girl magic. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I love that too, where it was showing like I don't know how to phrase this. Ryan Coogler showed the spectrum of black culture. So like Wakanda, royalty, super rich, Riri, humble beginning, Chicago, and just showing that spectrum and basically saying these two women
don't match.
Huh?
They don't match as far
they don't
as
match, but they have
from, but they're the same.
But they're the same because of the black experience. Like and how they grieve, and like Riri was kind of doing like the whole thing with
her dad in the car.
With her dad in the car, like it kind of got lost a little bit. But I like how they tried to bring it back and remind people like, okay, this car got destroyed. You know, that meant a lot to her. Her father means a lot to her. And I think they're probably going to dive into her dad's story in Ironheart series. And that's going to be beautiful.
I also enjoyed the relationship between Shuri and Namor. To your point, it was powerful because I think they found some kindredness within each other as well through Lost and but also just having to lead your people, having what that looks like. And you said it earlier, Ryan, I did enjoy how he treated her and gave her the bracelet and took her on a tour. It was more of an immersion than it was a warning, right?
Yeah.
And you also saw Shuri trying to figure out how to diplomatically lean into that relationship before, things broke out, right? So it was there's a couple things where like if you gave me some extra credit scenes on those side stories, I wouldn't be mad at it because it was really, really pretty.
I really like the full circle of like I would say like the vengeance part of it. Like the whole thing with Killmonger was a chef's kiss, like because
it was just enough.
And I should have expected that Michael B. Jordan was going to show up somewhere in the film, somewhere. But where he was placed, it was beautiful. And the way they use that as a story arc, because that was a major thing. I mean, she was out for vengeance, didn't care. Didn't want to tell anybody. Nakia kept asking her, hey, who did you see? Hey, hey, who'd you see?
And I think she knew.
She was like, you acted
weird. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Inherently, I think Nakia knew, and I like the way they did her too, because like I said, she was a strong force without being overbearing.
Right.
And then
and that's a powerful thing. Like I can't say if somebody killed a loved one of mine, it takes a lot of strength and courage to say, no, I'm going to let you breathe. And I'm also going to be an ally to you because you showed me your culture. I understand it. And I like how they did the full circle thing. And I really do think that Ryan Coogler was saying something about where we are today in terms of black and brown people.
She mirrored T'Challa, right? Like he was on the warpath too and was trying to kill my man Zemo. Or whoever, you know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right.
Same deal. It's like before they killed my dad.
He was out for vengeance.
Earth.
That's basically how you got to become part of the Avengers. You're 100% correct.
She followed the same arc.
Well, you know what? I'll say this, and I don't want to bring this back, but I do appreciate that it also showed different variations of Black women. You had Nakia, who had soft strength and that piece and motherly and sisterly. You had, Shuri, who's intelligent and very, intellectual. You had Queen Mother, right? Like you saw different levels of Black women. I love that he did not stick with a trope or stereotypes, or also create a monolith through that as well, right? So I thought that was beautiful.
Right.
The diversity within the diversity is always a great thing.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I know this sounds really silly, but there was part of me that wanted to see Queen Ramonda like just go to town, because like in What If, there was a scene where she was like just putting in work.
You saw a little bit of it when he came on that beach. It's clear that every person, every woman in
ready to put in work.
Yeah, like everyone's trained. Let's be clear. Everyone's trained. Yeah, because they both was like whoop, 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 with the spears. Both of them, like it wasn't like they had to figure it out. They were ready to protect themselves. I thought that was actually really, really, really dope.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Tradition and technology, those were themes.
Ooh, you better go ahead with the TNT.
Right. Right.
TNT. That's what I want to be. TNT. Sorry.
Yeah. But seriously, like there was a lot of push and pull. Like Shuri was just like straight technology.
Correct.
And they were trying to say, no, you got to focus on tradition.
And
this tradition. Yes. This tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this tradition will heal you. But it was funny. Her technology actually was the savior of Wakanda, like that heart-shaped herb.
Tradition.
Huh?
To bring back tradition.
To bring back tradition, correct. Right. So, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, she was fighting tradition, like when she realized Killmonger was in the ancestral plane. She was like, this is some garbage.
They don't love me no more.
They don't even come for me. Yeah, they didn't even come for me. My loved ones
check me.
Right.
What part of the game is this? Y'all sent me Killmonger.
Right.
And he was like, no. He's like, they ain't not come for you. You asked for me because you're tapping into the vengeance part of your spirit.
Right. Right.
So I was watching something who said that may go somewhere, because Shuri, what you're bringing out, Rose, I think they said eventually Black Panthers because we're going into the Quantumverse, Quantumania, or whatever, the multiverse, sorry. The timeline, whatever you want to call it these days. Whatever.
I think it's all of the above.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Right.
So going into these alternate worlds, there's something around being able to live almost in a fourth, fifth dimension. And because of Shuri's ability to be technical and now tapping into her spiritual, we might see this evolution of Black Panther be able to, similar to what we saw in Moon Knight, right? Like seeing those two worlds of astral plane, spiritual, and world come together. I don't know
what you're saying there, but
you don't remember in Moon Knight when
oh, okay. No, I see what you're saying. When the spirits, I see what you're saying.
Right, but it's to the point where he's able to almost call it into, like, bring himself back to life, right? So I'm saying they're saying in the quantum universe or in new universes, even if you think about What If, like, we're going to start playing with different planes and people's powers, like Shuri being a Black Panther now will be able to figure out how to, for instance, I'm making this up, bring Killmonger back to life in some regard, right?
Yeah,
or bring things into existence. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
No, you're right. No, I agree with you. It's just, it sounds like a slippery slope. And we talked about that because it's so many, like we got Loki over here, multiverse.
Yeah, it's getting real complicated.
Yeah, we got Moon Knight over here, supernatural.
Supernatural planes, right? Because we have to, we know they keep bringing these astral planes back for a reason. It's been mentioned at least in 2 shows. To your point, the timeline, we know we're going into the quantum verse, right? So there's something in where folks will be able to play in different spaces and almost be nexus beings of sorts as we continue on. So to be explained, everything makes sense but Shang-Chi and, the Eternals, but I'm going to leave that alone.
Man, y'all need to stop hating though. I'm a man.
And a whole bunch of other shows that happen in Phase 4, but
Phase 4. Yeah, that's good too. I like that.
Nope.
Right. That was for you, Wally.
Yeah.
Hate.
Yes. Let the hate flow.
Yeah, we need to evaluate. Like, now I know the movies. There were some stinkers in there.
When I'm talking about Phase Snore, I'm usually talking about
the movies, not TV. Because TV, they were actually spitting on TV.
Right.
They were doing better. Okay. I mean, the TV was. Y'all already know my beef is, and and the Cerebral Ninja. I don't know if he was making fun of me when he was on the show, but like I do need connective tissue. Like all this stuff is just. There's still a mountain of an internal or what celestial that no one has addressed. I just want to, and there's also people who just disappeared in London that has not been addressed. I just want to put that out there. Like we like that's not okay, y'all. That's not okay behavior. But we're again. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put pressure. I'm going to put the pressure or the expectation on Black Panther to solve all.
No.
And I think we all said that. Like, it's not fair. I'm not going to compare it to what happened in 4. This was an amazing movie. It's an 11. It's great. And I think it did all it could do to set for phase 5 in the most nice, clean way without it diluting what we saw for Black Panther. I'm fine with it. The rest of the phase, Thor and all that other nonsense we saw, I was gonna think I'm just gonna try to get out my brain. I think Kevin wants us to just like forget about it. That's why Black Panther finished it. Like just forget about that and just look forward, leaving things behind, press forward into which is forward in Christ, right? Just which is also Philippians 4. Just forget phase 4 and press forward because Thor was a mess. I'm sorry, I digress.
You all right, Wally?
She said a number of facts. She had a number of facts. She ain't spit none but facts. Right. Just after this, nothing else mattered but this movie.
What happened in phase 4? Black Panther.
Black Panther. That's it. That's all that happened.
What do you mean about phase 4?
You don't care about nothing else. Get that Spider-Man out here. That Sony Spider-Man.
What are you talking about?
Get that out of here.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was a Thor movie. That must have kicked me phase 3 because I have no idea. I have no recollection. All I remember is Black Panther.
Get them Black Widows.
2 hours and 21 minutes of amazingness. Everything else is a blur.
EST1982 podcast.com is the website.
Hey,
you know what? We just out there on Instagram and Facebook, EST1982 podcast. Patreon.com/EST1982 podcast. If you would like to pledge $1 to the cost
not Uno.
Don't
start talking Maya.
Uno pesos. Other pesos.
I know, but that was the point.
Yeah.
Foolishness.
Wait. We do have a special announcement, if I may.
Yeah.
We're not done with Black Panther yet. 1982 podcast will be recording live at the Nashville Soho House. And though we it's not an open invitation, we want y'all to listen. But if you are a member of the Soho House, join us for a screening and a conversation afterwards. And if you cannot come, we please encourage that you listen to that and comment on it or send us some questions or some thoughts. If you want to join the conversation, maybe we can bring it up while we're there. But just to let you guys all know, we're not done with this Black Panther conversation just yet. This is more. We want to bring the community into the conversation, and we're super excited about our live at the Soho House. So just wanted to throw that, I guess a kind of an endorsement commercial out there. Yeah. Oh, the date, 11/20. Again, if you're a member of the house or you know someone at the house and they can bring you as a guest, because that's a real thing.
5 o'clock, right? 5 o'clock.
No. 6 o'clock is the movie.
6.
And immediately following.
Well,
Let me know. If I'm like,
well, at least he'd be early.
5 o'clock for you,
I tell my kids all the time, early is on time. On time is late.
But if you know a member, if you are a member, please join us. It will be at 6 o'clock. It's the movie first, and immediately following the movie, we will have a very continuous, lively conversation about the intersectionality of Black Panther and Black culture. So it should be pretty cool. Did I do that right? That sound right, guys?
That's correct.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yep.
We're excited. So we hope to see you there. And so now you can bring back the music. That's like a PS message afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an end scene credit. I just gave y'all end scene credit.
Yeah. We'll holler at y'all.